SchedTool avoids having to send emails to multiple people to create a meeting and deal with the back and forth responses. So instead of that, you can define the parameters of your meeting, such as the length, the meeting name, define an agenda, or whatever you need to do to describe what it is you're going to do. And then these 2 points are the endpoints that you're asking SchedTool to create the meeting for. It won't schedule it any earlier than midnight on the 18th in this particular case, and you can make this whatever you want. The earliest and latest time of day really only affect the range within which SchedTool will search for a solution. The actual time of day that it gets scheduled is going to be more affected by your policies and your calendars. Once you create the meeting, that opens up another dialog to add invitees. And he remembers the invitees you've added before, so you can add them in. This responded means that there will be, once you process the meeting, this invitee will have to take some action in order to solve the meeting. And it could be, in the most simple case, it may be that this guy is not a signed up member yet. He doesn't have his calendar connected. Maybe he's new to the service completely, or perhaps based on his policy, he has to respond to something in order to process your meeting. And then you click to process the meeting. Before it can actually be processed, we have one more thing to define. So far, all we've done is laid out the endpoints. If you recall, there was the 3-week spread of when this is allowed to happen. And the next thing we need to do is block off any times that we don't want to hold this meeting. So maybe, for example, we don't want to have it on Sunday or Saturday. And keep in mind also that if you have a default policy, the default policy will also be merged into this. So I don't need, since my default policy basically says things like I'm not meeting before 7 in the morning, I don't need to block off those times. Or if my default policy says don't meet on Sundays and Saturdays, then I'm actually already done. I can flip back and forth between enabling and disabling particular areas. So maybe I don't want to meet at lunchtime. And maybe my policy doesn't normally say that, and I need to block it off for each week. And I can go back and review. And once I do that, I say submit. If everybody's ready to go, it'll try to solve right away. But more likely it has to get some responses from some people in order to try and solve the meeting.